Digital Tayo by Facebook. Okay, Digital Tayo is organized by AHA Incorporated, the training arm of Facebook. I will be now introducing you to our resource speaker. Today, our resource speaker is a well-trained digital citizenship or digital tayo trainer of AHA Behavioral Design or AHA Incorporated. Our trainer for today is, or our resource speaker from today is a morning show DJ from 99.5 Play FM in Metro Manila and an experienced events host for both live and online events. He is also our digital Kotayo trainer who has been executing various modules with Facebook and AHA Behavioral Design. Okay, may I now present to you our resource speaker for today, Mr. Jello Ades, the DJ from 99.5 Play FM. I'll now turn over the video to Sir.
Alright, thank you, Sir Mark. Good morning, everyone. Hi. I see that everybody's listening or watching through Facebook Live right now. So, good morning and welcome to today's session. I'm so happy that you guys are here. And I'm really excited to be presenting to you or maybe sharing with you some of these best practices and features that you might not know or maybe could be, I guess, already second nature, familiar to you. But of course, what's important for this session is we are reminded of these features, we're reminded of these best practices, so we know how exactly we're able to, I guess, share our knowledge with everybody else, right? Not only our students, but also to our community or whoever we're talking to. Okay? So this module is entitled Introduction to Digital Citizenship. Okay? So first, before we start, I'd like to know also kung ano yung baseline natin. Okay? What's the baseline learning that we already have or what we're working with? Diba? So with this, I'd like to know through a pretest. Okay? So on the next slide, you'll be seeing a learn code. No? Meron tayong learn code na gagamitin for you guys to go through the Facebook Messenger. Okay? So through Facebook Messenger, all you have to do is search Digital Tayo. Okay? So that's what you see in your screens right now. And then you'll see a little blue icon beside it. Okay? And that's supposedly the logo of the park. Okay? And once you go into Digital Tayo, it's going to ask for a learn code. Now, for the learn code, all you have to do is type AHA-AA04. Okay? And you can see that on the bottom left side of your screen. Okay? And that's the learn code. Gusto na malaman kung ano yung mga alam natin, kung ano yung baseline structure kung paano natin kinatackle itong session na to. Alright? Para naman we can measure also at the end how much we've learned through this session. Okay? Sige. We'll be getting around 1 to 2 minutes. This is a very short one. So, we'll get back to you in 2 minutes. 1 minute. So you can comment Digital Tayo in your time. Okay? Dito sa chat dito sa comment box. So we'll know if you are done with one. Again, take the pretest. Learn code AHA-AA04. We'll give you 2 minutes. Alright, looks like a lot of us, well, a few people are already done, so we have a minute left. Okay? Let's have one more minute for this pre-test. Easy lang. No right or wrong answers. I just want to know where we're all coming from. Para meron tayong set standard for the session. Okay, ito mga online session natin. Nakakapag-almusal, nakakapag-kape habang nag-meeting. Okay, let's wrap up. Last 30 seconds. Don't worry though if you're not able to finish on time. You can still do that while watching the live video. Okay. Last 20 seconds. And don't forget to comment digital tayo kapag tapos na. Hello to Miss Mina. Sweetest is now watching. Alright, we're seeing some answers already. We're seeing good feedback from you guys, so we can move on. Alright? Yeah, thank you guys for answering that. At least we'll know how to move forward with this. Okay, so a bit of an icebreaker before we head on to the actual step. Next slide, please. I want to know from our attendees if these situations would apply to you. Okay, so mag-interact lang tayo. Try natin mag-interact through the comment section. Okay, so all you have to do again, our keywords are digital tayo. So if this applies to you, just comment digital tayo. Okay, so first situation. Kasi marami tayo mga trends, no? Nag-trends tayo nung start ng lockdown. Meron tayong, I have made Dalgona coffee. Sino ang nakagawa na ng Dalgona coffee? Ito yung malapot na instant coffee na matagal gawin, di ba? Sino yung mga nakaka-relate dyan? Ayan, meron mga nakagawa na ng Dalgona coffee pala. Medyo mahirap yan. Hello to Maureen and to Marie. Ayan si Miss Nandelin. Tsaka si Miss Ana. Ayan, nakagawa sila ng Dalgona coffee. Ako nakagawa. Okay na sa akin yung normal na coffee. Tsaka si Miss Rona. Ayan. Sige, next tayo. Medyo marami na nagawa. Upi ako doon. Ito. I have been working for more than 10 years. Yan. Sino-sino ang mga veterano na dito? More than 10 years na po tayo nagtatrabaho. Sino-sino yan? Ay, si Miss Nandelin din. More than 10 years na nagtatrabaho. Okay. Magkakabatch po pala tayo. Kitang-kita naman. And Sir Mark, 12 years. Pagkakalataan yung age natin dito. Yan, sila Miss Marina, si Miss Reven, sila Miss Maureen, sila Sir Alexis, Sir Cyril. Wow, hello po sa inyo lahat. Congrats na 10 years or more. Okay, next, sino pang makakalapit dito? For the next one, I have difficulty using gadgets or applications. Ito ba yung mga pag gumagamit ka ng cellphone, hindi mo na makita, hindi mo na maintindihan kung anong pinipindot mo. Ano ba itong swipe na ito? Yung mga gano'n, yung nakikita ko, talagang bababa pa yung salamin para na makita kung ano kailangan pindutin. Sino bang may difficulty dito of using gadgets? Miss Emma. Miss Emma, okay. Meron siya. Okay. Si Miss Nanelin, sabi niya, walang difficulty except for the Facebook avatar. Mukhang nakagawa na rin ng avatar sa Nanelin. Si Sir Mark naman, pag bagong software daw, medyo nahihirapan sa paggamit. Si Sir Mark. Yeah, don't worry. I hope this session will be of value to you guys, lalo sa mga gadgets or bagong applications na to. Sige. Si Sir Red. Okay, next. Tingnan natin meron pa. I'm ready to become a responsible digital citizen. Ako, napakadali nito. Siyempre, ito lang ang tipong parang attendance check natin. Ready na po ba tayo para sa araw na to? Alright. I think sabay-sabay natin ko comment to eh. Digital tayo. No? Keywords. Digital tayo. 1, 2, 3. Kunyari may tao dito. Digital tayo! Tayo! Okay. Good job. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Next. Alright. Thank you so much for participating, guys. I hope medyo nagising tayo doon at nakikinig sa mga pag-uusapan natin ngayon. Kasi I just want to point out na I would think this is very important. This might appear as common sense to you, but we have to realize that a lot of people from our community, especially people that we're teaching or that our colleagues, for example, might not be familiar with the concepts that I'll be sharing with you today. Because with us and with social media, it's like our everyday tool, no? Hindi lang, dati ano lang yan eh, pang like na mga pictures ng mga selfies. Pero ngayon hindi eh. Mas marami nang gamit yung social media ngayon. Marami sa nakapag-business, di ba? Sa social media. Of course, given yung pag-connect sa families and friends, syempre marami ng mga video call, di ba? Sa pagkuha ng news, di ba? Patulad ko, hindi na ako nanonood ng, let's say, cable TV, lahat ng information ko na social media na lang, di ba? You can share your experiences or share things about yourself. Ako makinig tayo dyan sa kinakain natin, sa umaga, hapon, at gabi, and lahat na lang ng experience natin na share natin online. Sometimes, we overshare. Diba? Hindi nyo ma-realize natin sa self-care. And how not to overshare, for example. Right? But first, hindi na ba tayo comment ng digital tayo, digital citizen? Next slide, ano nga ba ang digital citizen? Diba? Before we start into becoming a responsible digital citizen, let's define first what a digital citizen is. So a digital citizen has the knowledge and skills to responsibly use the internet and other digital technologies. Okay? So keywords, you have the knowledge and the skills to responsibly use the internet. Diba? This session hopefully will help you gain that knowledge and the skill, of course, even the technical features, so you learn how to become a responsible digital citizen. Okay? So let's outline the session into 3 different aspects on becoming a digital citizen. Okay? First, we just protect ourselves. Second, family and friends. Third is the people around us, our community. Okay? And our community, you might not know, we have more impact on our community than ever because of the ease of use of social media. Dati, di ba, hanggang close friends, family lang yung mag-influence natin. Pero ngayon, pati community natin, kahit yung mga tao hindi natin kilala, na-influence natin dahil sa social media. Okay? So let's start with oneself. We have to realize what we do online. All our behaviors, everything that we do online actually leaves a mark depending on how you manage your information. Yung tipong kapag kausap mo yung katabi mo ngayon, pwede niya makalimutan yun sa makalawa. O di sinabi mo. Pero pag na-comment mo na yan online, hindi na mawawala yan. Your tracks are online and will forever be there. Okay? Again, depending on how you manage your info. Diba? Let's acknowledge what we share about ourselves, di ba? Next slide, we have your profile, di ba? You've probably filled up your profile. You've probably posted personal information that you might not know about. You have different posts about maybe your vacation, your breakfast, where you live, di ba? Messages, and what you even share or like, yung mga interests natin na ng social media at nabibigay natin sa social media. Diba? And who are the ones that have access to this info? Of course, the people that we connect to on a daily basis. Sometimes these are the people that we've friended on social media, but we forgot about na, friend ko nga pala si ganyan, naku, nakareklamo ako dun sa kupad ganyan, nakalimutan ko. Diba? Nakikita nila yan. Online friends and online relationships. And another reason to think about your digital footprint is that other people can search you. Diba? And these are the ways that other people can access info about us. Yung mga pictures, diba? Social media accounts. Pag tinayap yan sa mga search engine, bakit kita yan? Kasi na-expose na natin siya. Na-share na natin siya. Diba? School, job, your employer, your news stories, diba? Or community or social groups that we belong to. Diba? These are, again, the tracks that we leave online. And these are the things that can be searched about us. Okay? Now, given that we've already shared these things, given that these are searchable online already, and we have our own digital identity, diba? Our digital thumbprint, footprint, how do we protect it? Diba? We go into protecting this digital identity that we've already shared. Like what I said earlier, everything is online, everything everything is left online. Depends on how you manage it, right? Depends on how you manage your information. So this is how we protect that digital identity, all right? I'll give you 3 major ways. First is choosing the content that you show other people. Second is being wary of abusive content. And third is securing your account, diba? Lalo dun sa securing your account, parang medyo technical na tayo. Pero madali lang siya. Ginawa siyang madali ng mga social media platforms tulad ng Facebook para mas may control tayo sa information. And I want you guys to know how to control your own identity and your own information. Okay? So let's tackle the first one. Choose the content that you show other people. Alright? So, in choosing the kind of content, first, of course, to keep the community as safe as possible, to keep yourself as safe as possible, and to help with validation in the future, you have to be your authentic self. Okay? We really discourage the use of fake names, profiles, and of course, we're gonna ask you, or we're gonna be able to teach you how to report these things. Diba? This helps in keeping the community safe and keeping yourself safe. Because when it comes to, let's say, future problems, validations on your identity, this will help you prove that, hindi, ako to. Right? Choose your friends wisely. Meron tayong mga features na unfriend, unfollow, at block. Minsan nakakalimutan natin. At minsan din, add lang tayo ng add na hindi natin kilala. Okay? And number 3, choose your audience wisely. Okay? So be careful with what you share, to whom you share it with. Okay? Meron dyang setting na hindi nakakalimutan din natin na pwede natin piliin kung sino lang ang nakakakita ng mga posts natin. Which, again, you will find out or you'll be reminded of during this session. Alright? And these are all guided by the Facebook community standards. So it's like a student handbook. No? It's like a code of conduct that outlines the rules and regulations, the policies that surround the platform. And every time that there's a problem on Facebook, this is where we go to. This is where the decisions are based, diba? When we report something, abusive content or abusive account, it all boils down to this code of conduct, to this student handbook or social media handbook that all the decisions are based on. Okay? And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I want you guys to know that through this link at the bottom, facebook.com/community standards, this is a simple handbook that we can review for us to know what to report, when to report, and if we can be reported by other people because of the breach of these standards, diba? Palagi standards, diba? So, what leads to this, diba? Pag na-report ka, you can be removed, diba? It can result into the removal of content or the removal of your account. Next slide, please. Diba? When it's proven that you violate these standards, it can be removed. Diba? And this is again to be able to know or to be able to keep everything safe on social media, which is a challenge now. That's why we needed to inform people of these features, of these community guidelines for us to know when to act and what to act on. Okay? Alright. So number 2 is be wary of abusive content. So in relation to those community standards and everything, marami rin kasing abusive content online that we should be wary of. Scams, diba? That's very common. When we talk about scams, these are the money thefts, identity thefts, diba? If you're not familiar with that, money theft is when someone asks for important financial details. Kunyari, nanalo kayo daw ng lota na wala kayong sinalihan. So, hinihingi yung bank account number nyo, hinihingi yung PIN, hinihingi yung full name, address, pangalan ng aso nyo, kasi di-deposit daw nila yung winnings nyo. Diba? Parang fishy. Di pwede yun. Identity theft is when someone tries to steal your identity and pretends to be you. Diba? Di sinasabi ko, pag nag-overshare ka ng information mo online, birthday, again, pangalan, full name, middle name, mother's maiden name, address, SSS number, lahat pag sinishare natin online yan, ang daling mabiktima ng identity theft. And of course, phishing, and this is a new term for you, this is when people create fake websites and ask you to share your username and password. Ito yung tipong nagsuspoof sila ng website. Di ba? Kunyari, ito daw yung link sa bangko mo. Nako, mag-login ka. Kasi kailangan naming malaman kung active ka pa. Kung hindi, i-terminate namin account mo. Ito yung website na binigay nila, pero hindi talaga yun yung website ng bangko mo. So, nakuha na nila yung username and password. Nakakalogin na sila. So, may mga ganitong klaseng content na napapublish online that we should know how to decipher and we should know how to detect for us to be able to keep, again, the platform safe. Diba? And number 3 is securing your account. Right? We have features to secure your login and log out. Meron tayong mga tinatawag na mga security checks for you to be able to know kung may nag-login na ba sa account mo na hindi mo alam, etc. etc. And I'll show you that in a bit. Right? And of course, this is very common. This is very, I guess, common sense. Use strong passwords. Okay? Iba kasi natatakot na, hindi pa makalimutan ko. Sige, pangalan na lang ng kapatid ko ilalagay kong password, hindi mo kalimutan. Pero hindi. Mas importante gumawa ng string of letters or numbers. So, combination of numbers, letters, and characters, even special characters for you to be able to create a strong password para hindi madaling hulaan. Diba? Huwag din gagamit ng password, yung word na password para sa password. Okay, so this sasabi ko, sa mga login alerts natin, meron tayong alerts na pwedeng i-on sa settings, di ba? Pag in-on mo itong login alerts, na pwede nyo ito i-share sa ibang mga tao, pwede silang ma-notify or pwede kayong ma-notify kung may nakapag-login na medyo unusual. So, kunyari, madidetect kasi yan madidetect ng social media kung, parang ibang cellphone yung gamit pang login yun. Uy, parang taga Quezon City to, pero taga India yung nag-login na. Parang layo naman. Diba? Hindi mo siya makaka-travel doon ng gano'ng kabilis. Diba? Nadi-detect po yan ng Facebook, for example, or ng social media platforms for you to be able to action it right away. Okay? And a way to help yourselves to check up if your account is secure enough, there's a feature called a security checkup that you'll be able to access on Facebook. And we'll be presenting you with a list of questions, with a list of guidelines that you'll be able to review for you guys to know, okay, is my account secure enough or not? And I really suggest that you go through this. It's not very technical and it's not hard to do. It's as easy as step 1, 2, 3, and Facebook will guide you through that. Okay? And there's another feature called the two-factor authentication. Diba? Nakakagulat yung words. Two-factor authentication. But what does this mean? Diba? Go back to the previous slide. This adds an extra security, an extra layer of security, no? Sa mga hindi pa nakakaalam, two-factor authentication literally gives you 2 levels of authentication before you can log in your account. And this is via text message or an authentication app. Yung pinakamadali dito is text message. So, describe ko lang kung ano yung nangyayari. Kunyari, nag-login ka na username and password. Nag-press ka na login. Without two-factor authentication, that's straight to your profile. It grants access right away. But if you enable two-factor authentication, what happens is Facebook or the social media platform sends you an OTP. Parang sa mga bangko, di ba? Pag nag-login ka, pag sa bangko ka before you can make a transaction, it sends you an OTP. Ito naman, login pa lang. Kasi send na ka na ng password or ng OTP, one-time PIN, ibig sabihin ng OTP. For you to be able to enter dun sa website para mag-grant yung second layer, parang pangalawang pintuan na kailangan pasukin bago maka-access. Alright? And this is a nice feature and this is a very important feature, especially if for example, you log in with multiple devices or alam mo, may cellphone ka, may laptop ka, meron ka pang tablet, di ba? Importante to kasi minsan pwede mo maiwan yung login credentials sa iba. Hindi mo na malalaman hanggang meron ka dito. Okay? Alright, so the next slide just basically gives you some tips on how to use a strong password. Make sure it has a combination of small and big letters, has different characters, and it's not too short. The longer, the better basta matatandaan natin. Okay? Meron din yung link, again, it's down below, for you to have like simple tips on how to do these things. I'm sure meron na kayong passwords in mind. Kung kailangan nyo palitan nyo na po after this session. Okay? So securing your account, again, next slide, can also mean setting your location privacy, checking your privacy settings. So this namin ko kanina, may privacy check-up tayo. And of course, check your security setting. Okay? So magkaiba si privacy setting sa security setting. Right? So you'll be able to do this through taking the Facebook privacy check-up. Okay? So how to do this? Ito, sinasabi ko, 3 steps. Okay? 3 steps lang to. Sa upper right corner, tawag namin dyan hamburger menu, yung 3 lines na yan. Just click that at the top right hand corner of Facebook and click privacy shortcuts. Okay? Ito medyo technical into getting into the user interface, but it's easy once you get there. You select the option review a few important privacy settings, and then you click next and answer the following questions about your settings. Again, you are guided already on what to press because we're asking you the questions for you not to think, ano ba yung kailangan ko i-check? Yung mismong check-up na yung sasabi ko sa'yo, okay, ano yung, kaya sa mga doktor, diba, mo, masakit ba ito, masakit ba yan? Ito, gano'n din, diba? Who are you sharing your boosts with? What are you sharing? Etc. etc. And to guide you more on the next slide, these are the options that you'll be able to see. Who can see what you share? How to keep your account secure, how people can find you on Facebook, your data settings on Facebook, and of course, we have your ad preferences on Facebook. And I want to touch up more on the ad preferences. So, there are two kinds of people. The people who love ads, the people who hate ads. But what they don't know, the similarities between the two types of people, is they don't know that they can control the ads they see. Diba? For the perspective of the people who love ads, like for example myself, I use it for research purposes. Dati kasi kung mag-research ako about something, for example, something that I want to buy, somewhere that I want to go to, I really have to go to search engine. After the search engine, I have to go to different platforms to be able to find the information that I want. Now, with my setting on the ad preferences, I've set it to whatever I search, give me that information as I'm scrolling through my timeline. Diba? Meron nakaka-experience dito na nag-search na ako ng dumbbells, for example. Biglang, ang dami ko ng ads na makikita sa dumbbells sa Facebook. Diba? Nakakontrol mo yan sa ad preference. You can delete that preference, you can set it to, okay, yung itong ad, or gusto ko na itong ad. Again, Facebook or your social media is a powerful tool, and we just need to know how to control it. How to control the usage based on our preferences. Okay? And I hope this helps you out. Right? Sige. Let us give you a summary of these topics through the links that you're gonna see now. You can write this down for future reference. If you want to put this, for example, as part of your modules or anything, screenshot nyo lang yung mga links. This is available for everyone. Okay? So setting strong passwords, enabling login alerts, activating login approvals, logging out of unused devices, kaya mga lumang cellphone na hindi mo pala na-log out yung Facebook, tapos nabenta mo na. Diba? Security check-up, these are the links that you can find. The that you'll be able to review. Okay? Alright. Screenshot 1, 2, 3. Alright, thank you. Now, we move on to protecting our family and friends. Okay? This is very simple. This is something that is supposed to be common, but we often forget, right? So yeah, let's have an example. Next slide. If you were to comment, how would you react to the following posts? Diba? Comment. Diba? Doon lang sa status. Diba? Nag-status yung colleague mo, nag-status yung kaibigan mo, nag-status yung batid mo. How would you reply? Diba? Consider na, nakalas sa bahay, comment ka lang. Diba? Ano yung reply mo sa colleague mo na nagsabi, I hate my boss. Ano yung reply mo sa kaibigan mo na, it's hassle being here. Pag sa kapatid mo na natin mga bansa, parang, I hate school. Too lazy to go to school. Diba? Come to think of it, we react differently if we are reacting to a screen compared to when we're hearing these words in real life. Diba? Next slide. Digital communication sort of disabled our perspective into seeing na yung kausap ko pala tao. Diba? And that's why I wanted to remind you guys that digital communication, we have to bring back that fact that the other person, the person behind the screen, is actually human. May feelings attached to the words that you read or that you comment, right? And how do we do this? How do we enable that again, right? One word, empathy, diba? So again, behind every screen is a human being with unique experiences and backgrounds. Hindi po tayo pareho ng background, hindi tayo pareho ng perspective sa buhay. And empathy is our ability to feel what another person is experiencing from that person's point of view. It's considering that this person is going through, for example, something, baka na-comment niya kasi ganito lang ang experience niya, and we react differently if we react with empathy. Diba? For example, may student talaga na ay nako, ito bagsak na naman, tinatamad na naman, ayaw na naman pumasok. Diba? Bakit kaya? Bakit? We have to ask ourselves, diba? Ano ba yun, ayaw buksan yung camera ng estudyante kasi sabi ng required nga magbukas ng camera pag nag-online class. Bakit kaya? Maiis ba tayo o gusto na natin intindihin bakit siya kayanin? Yeah. So empathy is very important, especially when we're dealing with people online. Right? And as an example, here's a quick exercise for us. I'm going to show you a picture with I guess, different pictures in one image. What do you guys see? Okay. Do you see a butterfly? Or do you see two faces? I personally see a butterfly. And it was hard for me to see the faces. Okay? Butterfly po yung white, tapos yung faces, naka-outline sa orange sa gilid ng butterfly. Pinamilong, may buhok. Yung butterfly naman yung gitna. Diba? And that's already a great exercise. I can see a butterfly, you can see two faces, for example. Pero pag tinanong ako, hindi, butterfly yan. Sabi mo, hindi, mukha kaya yan. Hindi wala, hindi tayo nag-agree, diba? Because I'm not considering the other perspective. Another exercise, and this is another illusion. We can demonstrate empathy in illusions. It's as simple as that, but we forget, right? What do you see? Do you see a vase? Or vase? Vase daw yan. Vase? Or two faces? Again, diba? Pati yung makikita yung two faces dito kasi nakikita na tayo yung dalawang mukha kanina eh. But the vase or the vase is the one in the middle, right? Again, considering different perspectives actually helps us learn more, helps us grow more as a person. We widen our perspective with these simple exercises, or with the simple exercise of reminding ourselves that empathy is important. Okay? So with obvious question, why is it important to communicate online respectfully? Again, we have different perspectives and experiences. We come from different backgrounds, and it is our responsibility to respect the values, feelings, and beliefs of others it accept differences. Diba? Because we want to have conversations that allow ourselves and communities to be better and more helpful. Okay? We want to add value to people's lives instead of, alam mo yun, di ba, mag-aan lang kayo kasi hindi talaga kayo mag-meet. Diba? Because you're both not considering each other's actions. Empathy. Okay. So, that's actually it. That wraps it up for protecting our family and friends, di ba? And this is a summary of ways to practice positive online engagement. Number one is knowing your audience. Sino ba yung mga nakakakita ng mga pinapost natin? Place ourselves in other shoes. Okay? Ito bang tao na ito, baka mayroong ibang pinagdadaanan. Diba? Simple questions that we ask ourselves. Treat everyone as important. Hindi dahil best friend mo yung isa, a-agree ka na agad sa lahat na sinasabi. Tapos yung isa, parang hindi kayo close, parang wala yan. Diba? Be open, again, having different perspectives widens our broadens our knowledge, and be sensitive to the environment. Diba? Becoming sensitive to the environment is remembering that there are reasons why a person speaks about something. Alright? So yeah. So let's move on now to the third point, which is community. How do we protect the people around us? Further to our family and friends. Okay? With that, I'd like to give you these types of information, samples of types of information. Now, there are facts, there are opinions, and there's false information. Diba? Na mainit itong topic na to. So we'll go through each one. Okay? Next slide. A fact is described by something that is true and can be proven. Like what I'm saying now, this is an apple. It's very objective, what I said. Diba? It's true, it can be proven. You can prove, I can prove to you that this is an apple. Right? It's common knowledge. Second, opinion. Let's use the same image. An opinion is something that cannot be proven or is very subjective to the person saying it. This is the most delicious apple in the city. This is the only apple. I like it. The most delicious one. Just because I've tasted it. With that simple sample that I gave you, taste is very subjective already. But my opinion, if I push it on others, diba? You have to know that it's an opinion lang. And we go to the third type of information, which is false news. And the reason why I want to tackle this is because if we want to protect our communities, diba? If we want to protect the platform, we have to know if something or a piece of article is false or not. And what do we do about it? And that's what we're going to tackle now, diba? We have to realize that there are real-life consequences to false news, even if we just see it online. Even if we just see it on a cellphone, parang pagpatay mo ng cellphone, di ba nakikita yung mga false news na yan eh. But there are real-life consequences na hindi natin ma-realize, diba? Samples lang ito, it damages reputation, diba? Konting chismis lang, diba? Parang, chismis ka sa kapitbahay mo, pero ito online, mas malawak yung reach eh. Diba? It damages reputation of people. Deceiving also, it affects personal safety. So for example, ito yung mga sinasabi ko, sino yung mga nabiktima na dito ng mga nanalo ka ng 10 million pesos? Diba? Padala mo lang yung account number mo at yung PIN number mo at yung credit card number mo para ma-deposit namin sa iyo yung premyo. Diba? Or reply with your full name, address, date of birth, mother's maiden name, lahat na ng information hiningi sa'yo. Binigay mo naman. Diba? Personal safety natin yan. And third, it can cause fear or panic to the public. Diba? Ito yung mga tipo, nakakakita ka na, parating na daw na lindol. Pag-ingat, ito na daw yung nangyari sa ganitong parte ng mundo. Ito na yung nangyari sa Metro Manila, paparating na dyan. Diba? Yung mga ganong news, pag hindi natin verify, para nakakatakot talaga eh. Like for example, lindol, hindi naman napipredict kung kailan mangyayari ng lindol. Pero may naniniwala na, bukas lilindol ng malakas. Diba? Things like these, we have to know how to protect the community from. So, how do we know if the article is real or false? Diba? Sige, let's go through a simple exercise that I guess make us realize na dapat check natin to or hindi, di ba? Sige, I'll flash this various things that you can check to discern if a news story or post is true, and then you just comment the letter of the side that you feel like we should check, okay? Pwedeng maraming sagot. Okay, we'll go through a few, right? Sige, first, so how do we know if the news article or post is real or false? Okay? A, do we read about the about us section of the website? Yun yung nasa ilalim to know more about the website. B, domain, ito yung website name. C, kung shinare ba ito ng beshi mo or ng, di ba, ng close friend mo. Or D, check ba natin yung picture ng post. Kung totoo ba? Alin dito yung mga dapat natin consider? A, B, C, D. Ay, may sumagot na A and B. Okay, A and B lang ba? B lang ba? Di ba combination ng mas marami doon? Okay? So sige, since sample question to, bigyan natin muna yung sagot. Yung sagot niya is A, B as in boy, and D as in dog. Hindi po kasama si letter C. Okay? Kasi who knows, baka biktima rin yung close friend nyo. Di ba na-share niya without checking? Hindi siya umattend ng module na to. Without checking kung totoo. Pero na-persuade siya, hindi totoo to. Di ba? And that's how it spreads. If we don't stop that cycle of liking, sharing things that are not true, just because our friends shared it, and it's never gonna end. Okay? We check these things, hindi po valid ang mag-check ng kapag nag-share ang close friend natin. Okay? Pati picture, yes, kailangan din pong i-check ang picture. It goes hand in hand with the, for example, the article that we see online. Okay? Next. Again, how do we know if this is real or false? I-check pa natin kung shinare to ng page or group na pinafollow natin. That's A. B, may ebidensya ba to from credible institutions? C, shinare siya ng more than 1,000 people. Nako, 1 million shares na siya. Real ba or false? Or D, sino ba yung author? Sino pinagsulat nito? Okay? Again, multiple answers are accepted. Okay? Ayan, may mga sumasagot. Ang bilis The correct answers are B and D, boy and dog. Okay? Again, who is the publishing site? Just because the site is popular among your friends does not mean that the content is accurate. Diba? Shared by more than 1,000 people? So what? You have to stop it if it's not true. Right? Who's the author? Check if the author is real. Real person ba? O hindi. Diba? A simple search engine query can tell you that. Diba? So that's a good exercise. Okay, last. How do we know if it's real or false? Do we check the spelling? Yan, mga all caps ba? Mga nakalimang exclamation point ba yan? B, date of post. Okay, sabihin, kailan ba siya pinost? Date of the article. Okay, magkaiba yan Yung date of post kung kailan siya pinost sa social media. Date of article kung kailan ginawa yung article. Okay? So, example niya, nag-post ako ng walang pasok ngayon, pero yung article from 2 years ago pa pala. Diba? Letter D, if the article is familiar. May personal bias ka dito. Familiar, oo nga, no? Tama yan. Sabi nga ni Kumario, tama. Shinare mo. Okay? A, B, C, D. Alin dito yung mga valid na i-check natin bago malaman kung real or not. Okay? Pwede. Yung mga sumasagot sa Facebook Live, pwede. Okay. May mga sumasagot din ng kulang, may mga sumasagot ng sobra. Sige, ibigay natin yung yung sagot. May sumagot na A, B, C. Okay, tingnan natin. Tama. A, B, and C. Okay? Formatting is important actually because, for example, a simple grammatical error or let's say, sobrang pang-clickbait yung title niya, alam mo yun, yung all caps, tapos ang daming exclamation point. If you're from a credible institution, meron po silang standards na sinusunod on how to publish titles, how to publish articles, at maraming layers of approval na dinadaanan yan. So it's seldom that we see them have grammatical errors or yung mga spelling, yung mga all caps. Kasi pinapolish talaga niya. So we have to check that. And again, the date of the post or the article, we have to check also. Like my example earlier, simpleng walang pasok. Di ba? Ang daming naloloko niyan dati. Sana ngayon wala na. Di ba? And of course, hindi valid yung pag-check if the article is familiar or not. Because again, it's affected by your personal bias. Hindi porket familiar sa'yo, totoo na. Di ba? May mga, again, pag familiar sa'yo, subjective yun. So we have to go through objective checks, which are, for example, A, B, and C. Okay? Alright. So let's go through the summary of the things that we have to check. Is it from a trustworthy source? Is it a realistic headline? Is it from, let's say, an unusual link? Siyempre hindi, di ba? Kung out of date yan, or formatting, yung images hindi verified, yung author, na-search mo na, hindi naman pala totoong tao, or was it for humor? Was it a hoax? Diba? These are the things that we need to check. Simpleng URL lang, diba? Meron tayo tinatawag na HTTP at HTTPS. Ano ba yung pinagkaiba ng dalawa? Okay? S stands for secured. Okay? So saan ka pupunta? Sa HTTP or HTTPS? Ito yung nakikita natin sa simula ng link. Diba? Doon pa lang, diba? At minsan common sense, pero yung iba hindi nakikita yon. Yung additional S sa dulo, yung pala yung nagsisecure, yun yung nag-encrypt ng information na tinatype mo online. So if you go to a lot of your banking websites, meron silang HTTPS. May S na nakalagay. Isang simple tip din yan. Diba? Alright, so when we see false information on Facebook, what do we do then? Now that we know how to decipher, now that we went through some tips, it's important that we stop the cycle of false news spreading. Diba? So if you see something and you believe that it's false news, don't worry. You can right away click the options menu, which is the three dots on the upper right of the post. Click report post, and then you click, there's an option that says, I think it shouldn't be on Facebook, and then you click it's a false news story. Okay? When something is posted, when something is reported on Facebook, kindly click the next jump there, we review it and remove anything that violates, again, the community standards that I introduced to you earlier. So, no worries, for example, di ako sure kung false news story hindi, you can still report. Because again, the reports are anonymous, meaning kung sino yung nireport mo, or yung source ng nireport mo, hindi malalaman na ikaw yung nag-report. And number two, it goes through the review process. Okay? So it goes through the review process for Facebook or any social media platform to decipher, okay, tama, verified false news, we'll remove it. Okay? So you don't need to be conscious because there's an extra layer that checks your reports. Okay? So unang tingin pa lang, pag tingin mo ng false news, let's help the community to stop it by reporting. Alright? So how can you be discerning with the posts that you see? You ask yourself the following questions from your past experiences, di ba? Have you experienced seeing a news event and thinking it was true because of rumors or a false image, di ba? Just think about it now. You can discern that. I'm sure lahat tayo one way or another naloko na before online, di ba? So ano yung event na yon? And I'm sure we learned from it. Hindi naman hanggang ngayon naniniwala pa rin tayo dun sa naloko na tayo before, di ba? So how did you figure out that that type of information or that interaction was false? And that's how you replicate it towards your other experiences. Okay? That's how you know, that's how you find out, okay, using the same experience, of course, if we want to grow from this, we want to know how we were able to solve it, and then apply it to our future events, to our future experiences. Okay? Same goes with anything in life naman. You just apply it here also online. Real life, online life, it's virtually the same. Diba? We just have to know how to apply these real life scenarios or real life, concepts that we've seen here, like empathy, online, for us to be able to know this. Alright? I'll play you a quick video, a quick summary of how we can all be responsible online. Let's watch this.
At Every day, people from all over the world share billions of things on Facebook. The conversations that happen here reflect the diversity of this global community. At Facebook, our goal is to create a welcoming and safe environment so people can share and connect with their friends and families. Occasionally, people share content that can be abusive or harmful. We created Facebook community standards to explain what kinds of things can and cannot be shared on the site. For instance, you can't bully or harass someone, or post hate speech or threats of violence. If you see something that you think violates these standards, report it by clicking the report link so that we can review it and take action. Not all disagreeable or disturbing content violates our community standards, but by blocking, unfollowing, or unfriending the person or page that posted the content, you can control what you see on Facebook. To learn more about our community standards, visit facebook.com/community standards.
Alright, and also based on this session, you might have a lot of other questions, for example.
Every day, people from all over the world share
Yung laptop ko nag-on ako. Joke. So if you want to get assistance through Facebook, we have this help center that already answers the questions or the most asked questions, yung mga FAQs natin. And that's facebook.com/help or facebook.com/hacked. Diba? Ito yung mga FAQs tulad ng what are the names that are allowed on Facebook? Where can I find my Facebook settings? Diba? I learned that there's a privacy checkup pala. How can I go to the privacy checkup? Okay, so you don't need to memorize the links that I've given you before. Only one link to go through these. Okay? Facebook.com/help. Okay? And of course, we went through, again, to summarize the 3 things that we can protect. Ourselves, our family and friends, and our community. I hope this session brought you guys value, and I hope you can share this also with your colleagues, your students, or your families, your friends, because it might be common sense to us now because we've learned about it through this session. But I assure you, it's not common sense, or even it's like a different language to a lot of other people. That's why we want our educators to be able to teach this to a lot more people and to reach, of course, a lot more people. And let's start with our country. Okay? Thank you very much to everybody who have been listening. And of course, since may pre-test tayo kanina, please feel free to go through the same